Okie dokie, time to watch a movie. Gotta pick one I haven't seen before. What do I want to watch? Seen that a million times. Great movie. The Wicker Man, starring Nicolas Cage. It's a creepy looking girl with white eyes. Clearly she will be featured in the film at some point, I'm sure of that. Well, Nicolas Cage is in it, so it's 100% guaranteed to be good. I think I'll watch this. Okay, look. Whoa! Yeah, I've been standing here for about a minute hoping that my stupid, idiotic past self would somehow make the right choice, but I was reminded that I didn't. I'm from the future, 2 years in the future in fact, and I am warning you, do not watch The Wicker Man. Whoa. I'm still wearing the same shirt 2 years from now? You know, I really do need a wardrobe change, don't I? That's besides the point! Dude, listen to me! Don't watch this movie. Listen to yourself! Don't watch The Wicker Man. You will regret it. I'm trying to erase it from our memory. Hold on. We have time travel 2 years from now? Yes, actually. You can get it at Walmart for about $396.96. I probably shouldn't be telling you this. I don't like when I make that face. When I make that face, I get into trouble. If time travel gets invented in 2 years, then I probably shouldn't do anything different, right? Otherwise, it might not get invented? Yes? Then I'm gonna watch it. Please don't watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Don't watch it. I'm gonna put it in the Blu-ray player. I am begging you. Please, don't watch that movie. I'm gonna watch it. Fine. It's your funeral. It's our funeral. Fantastic. Have a great day. Jeez, future me is really paranoid. What could possibly be wrong with a Nicolas Cage movie called The Wicker Man? I mean, it's obviously going to be good. It's guaranteed to be good. It will be good. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind this movie is going to be good. It has to be good. It stars Nicolas Cage, Oscar-winning actor. It will be good. Why is future me so dumb? If I drowned myself in the river in the woods outside, do you think they'd find my body? The Wicker Man, starring Nicolas Cage. A truly awful movie. But it's awful in a very special way. It is hilariously awful. It is such an atrocity that it is hilarious. It's officially a hilariocity. So let's talk about it today on my Hilariocity review of The Wicker Man, starring the one and only Nicolas Cage.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Open up my eyes! I never misspelled anything! Not once, not one time!
The Wicker Man. They don't get funnier than this, guys. They honestly, they just don't. This is one of the best bad movies ever made. Now, my last Hilariocity review was for The Room, and I've gotten a lot of requests ever since then to do more, and I was thinking to myself, Nicolas Cage has made a lot of movies that could fit in with that Hilariocity title quite a bit. There were a few that I could have done. There's Vampire's Kiss. It's a horrible, horrible job. And you have to do it. You have to, or I'll fire you, do you understand? I never misfiled anything! Not once, not one time! My fiance literally just came to the door and asked me if everything was alright. And you can't forget Con Air. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box? Nicolas Cage is awesome, I gotta be honest, I love the guy. Even in a bad movie, he entertains me, I can't help it. I love the guy. He seems cool in real life also. Whatever, he's awesome. However, The Wicker Man is a horrible movie. Let's talk about it. The first time I saw this movie, I was in disbelief at how bad it was because it's marketed as this extremely scary thriller. It's supposed to be a very scary horror movie that's really supposed to disturb you, and that's really one of the goals Nicolas Cage had when he set out to remake this movie. He wanted to make a very disturbing movie that would haunt our dreams. It did in certain ways, but probably not the ways that he was hoping. So the movie opens with him buying some self-help tapes. Why is he doing this? We don't really know. It's never referenced again in the movie even one time. It's a very simple and easy way to explain to us that he's not terribly happy. Except when he picks up the tape, he smiles. Like, who picks up a self-help tape and goes, yeah, this sounds like fun? No one happily buys self-help tapes. Self-help tapes are for depressed people. You're not happy if you buy one of those. But Nicolas Cage is. And then we cut to another scene that is the most referenced and constantly shown scene in this movie that absolutely has nothing to do with the movie whatsoever. So this truck comes along driving on the complete 100% opposite side of the road, doesn't see the car there or the police officer, and decides to crash into the car and kill everybody and ruin everyone's day. Then the main title comes up and it's a scene that is constantly referenced throughout this movie. You see him envisioning this little girl. When he's on a boat, you see like a truck hit a girl out of nowhere. There is no reason for this scene. It's never... It's just a scene that's in the movie one time, but it's in the movie like 5 times later for no reason at all. Why? So we cut to Nicolas Cage in his home and a fellow policewoman brings him some letters. He reads these letters and one of them is from an old flame and she is speaking like she is right out of M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. I wanted to send you this letter in private because I had to give you this letter and it meant so much to me. Oh, my dear Nicolas Cage. You know what? She sounds like Olga Pataki from the Hey Arnold show. That's right, the older sister of Helga. That's what she sounds like. Oh, baby sister, I just love you so much. Wow, I can imitate her. I never realized that until just now. That's not really something to brag about, I guess. So Nick Cage does some research on this Summers Isle place. They have a website. This place has a website. Later in the movie, you find out they don't have any phones on the island. They got a website though. This girl is missing her daughter and she needs his help because he cares about her still. They used to have a thing going on. He decides to go out there and find this girl. That also reminds me of the fact that when he gets the letter, he gets an unknown phone call from somebody and it really freaks him out. Okay, so who's the phone call from? They don't have phones on this island supposedly. Who's calling him? We never find out. I guess it doesn't really matter. Now when he gets to Summers Isle, he runs into this group of old and incredibly unattractive women who are holding a bloody bag, and he asks the first natural question that any of us would ask in this situation.
What's in the bag? A shark or something?
Yeah. Of course it's a shark. I mean, what else would be in a bag? A shark, of course. I mean, we all carry sharks around in bags, don't we? That's just what people do. So Cage walks into the neighborhood bar and there's a woman behind the counter. She's technically a woman. She looks more like a man, but she's a woman. He kills a bee on the table and that's apparently like blasphemy in this place. We'll learn more about bees later. That's a very important part of this movie. But at the doorway appears his old flame with lips 3 times the size of your average woman. Someone's had some injections. She stands there looking like a heroin addict, and she pretty much looks like a heroin addict throughout the majority of this movie. Generally, every single scene with her has her start speaking and then just stop like mid-sentence. She really likes to say sentences and then just stop and not finish it. She does it literally, I swear, it's like all she does. She'll be like, That's all she does in the movie. Okay, so later on in the movie, Cage is in bed sleeping, and we get the obligatory dream sequence that seems to come with all these stupid horror movies where you have a character dreaming about something that maybe is slightly integral to the plot. Except in this movie, he dreams about the truck accident again, which I have already said has nothing to do with the plot. It's just this scene they keep referencing over and over again for no reason, to have Nicolas Cage have something to be stressed out about so he can really want some self-help tapes. Wow, this is the perfect time for him to bust out that self-help tape, right? The one that he bought in the very first scene in the movie that must have some kind of importance? No, of course not. He's not gonna do anything with that ever. Why would you think that? Maybe they put that scene in the movie so they could show him wake up and look out the window and see the little girl running down there. He sees the girl and he's like, wow, there's the girl. I'm gonna go chase her. It was like someone was like, hey, we probably have to have something in this movie that's even remotely thrilling. Okay, we'll have Nicolas Cage like hanging from a piece of wood. So after that random scene of him just running around at night and we don't really find anything, it doesn't lead to anything, we meet Lily Sobieski's character. Yes, I remember that actress's name. Sorry, I remember things. It's a weird scene of awkward sexual tension that has no purpose. She keeps asking him to take her with him when he leaves. And he's like, yeah, No. Now, as I say all these things, I can't help but think about the things that happen later in the movie, and I know how this movie ends, and I can't help but think about how none of this makes sense. I'll get to that later. I will, don't worry. Now, there's a part in this movie that I actually start to kind of seriously relate to Nicolas Cage's character, and that's because what this movie does is it pits men against women. The original Wicker Man was more about Catholicism versus paganism. That's more disturbing. The whole sexist battle thing isn't really grounds for this type of horror movie. So at some point in this movie, Nicolas Cage's character actually starts to do what the audience is thinking. Like, there are certain moments in the film, like when the kids raise their hand and go, "Phallic symbol, phallic symbol." He just starts laughing, and I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel too, man. Don't worry about it. I feel you. Within that same scene, he opens up a desk and a bird flies out and he goes, "What?"
We trapped the little old bird inside to see how long he can stand it.
Now, why in the hell would you let them do a sick thing like that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too, man. I agree with you. And that's what I'm saying. There's a point in this movie where Nicolas Cage's character starts to say what the audience is feeling, and it's like we are speaking through him. And that's kind of what a main character is supposed to do in a movie. But in this movie, I just really do relate to his character at a point in this movie, because there's a point where he's just like, dude, what in the hell is this all about, man? I don't get any of this. It's weird. And that's how I feel as an audience member. So Nick Cage and the girl with the giant lips are talking, and she finally admits that the girl that they've been searching for is actually their daughter. It's like, wow. I really didn't see that. I definitely saw it coming a long time ago. But her performance is just, she looks like a crackhead throughout every scene in this movie. It's like they got her all shot up with drugs or something. And she can't stop making incomplete sentences. It's all she does in the movie is incomplete sentences. So like I said, there's a point in this movie where Nicolas Cage starts to get just about as annoyed as we are. His character doesn't give a crap anymore. He even starts to interrupt characters that we are annoyed with.
She can swim like some...
Swim, okay.
I legitimately like that about this movie, how his character is just at a point like, I don't care anymore, just leave me alone, God. You people are really annoying. So Nick Cage sees the old guy come back in the plane. The old guy, a man, another man, and he immediately is like, I have to go find this man. I have to run to him because there are so many crazy women on this island. Get me out of here. Now, in the 1 to 2 minute radius it takes for him to run down to the dock, the old elderly women have already taken out the pilot as well as the radio and all of the controls. Those are some magical speed powers those elderly women have. Pretty impressive. Then he sees the girl under the docks and he's like, I gotta go down there and get her. And then he wakes up. It's another dream. Another dream. The first dream sequence earlier in the movie was like the obligatory dream sequence of the horror movie. We have a second one now. When he wakes up from the second dream, guess what? He's not actually up. He's still dreaming again. Another dream sequence. Another dream sequence. Enough of the dream sequences. So later in the movie, he's spying on this old lady who's leaving her house as the Emperor's royal guards from Return of the Jedi follow her everywhere she goes. So after he breaks into her house, he finds some fetuses in jars, a staple of any horror film. You gotta have a fetus in a jar. Or you might just be making a really good horror movie that doesn't follow the stupid cliche of the fetus inside the jar. So next we get to meet the ultimate old hag of all the old hags. This is apparently the Queen of Summer's Isle. I don't know what she is. She's like the Queen Bee, maybe. I made a bee joke! And he starts to ask her some questions that we're pretty much wondering ourselves as audience members. We're like, yeah, exactly, man. And the film's script doesn't have any idea how to answer his questions, so she goes, come on, let's wander. And then it just cuts to some scene of them wandering around. She's saying random things that don't actually answer any of his questions or any of our questions. So basically you learn that men in this place are only viewed as possible breeders. That's what we men do for these women in the Wicker Man colony of Summer's Isle. We breed. You can tell that none of the men have any education as well. They're all like, like Nicolas Cage bumps into one of them and he just goes like, ugh. They don't know how to speak hardly at all. They're just like worker bees. Another bee pun. Oh! So later on, he hears a random girl like crying inside a crypt. And he's thinking, wow, that could be the girl. So he goes down there and tries to find her. And they trap him there and he gets trapped there all night in like neck-high water. What's the purpose of this? I don't know. If there was a semblance of a story, this movie might be possibly good. And I really want to bring up the stupid part of this movie that I hate the most, but I gotta wait to the end to make it as powerful as possible. But I'm remembering all this stuff. I'm remembering everything I mentioned so far. I'm remembering them trapping him down there at night and him almost drowning. I'm remembering all of that so I can can bring it up at the end of the review and bring all this home, I'll get to it, don't worry. So now we have one of the best scenes in the whole movie. Once Nicolas Cage is freed from this trap, he is pretty freaking mad and wet and mad and extremely mad. And he really wants to know how this thing in his hands got burned.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
I don't know!
I love that scene so much. Now we come to what I call the WTF house. Because every door that Nicolas Cage opens in this house, that's pretty much what you say in your head. I mean, there's girls covered in bees, old fat men covered in bee stings, and it's just like every door has a great surprise behind it. What's behind door number 1, Johnny? An old fat man with bee stings. Yeah! Now at this point, Nicolas Cage is really starting to break. I mean, he's even telling people to get off bicycles at gunpoint. And it's pretty awesome when he does it. I'm telling you, I'd get off that bicycle if he talked to me like that. Get off the bike. Step away from the bike. Take your stupid mask. So later on, he finds the old pilot. He's got no eyes. He's got no hands. His mouth is sewn shut. What does he try to do? Wake him up. Yeah, he might have been alive. So I'm thinking as a viewer, who killed the airplane guy? Well, we get a scene explaining that perfectly. This old lady who looks like she's about 85 years old is like, I took care of that business down there. Yes, I did. Oh, so you killed him. Okay. Lady, you need a bar by your toilet so you can get up from it after you take a crap. There's no way you're gonna kill some guy, sew his mouth shut, cut out his eyeballs, cut off his hands in the 2 minutes it took Nicolas Cage to run down to that plane. It ain't happening, lady. But it doesn't really matter. You know why? Because Nicolas Cage can't take it anymore. He just can't take these women anymore. He's done. He's snapped. He's lost it. And he's done with these ladies. Nicolas has been let out of the cage, ladies and gentlemen. He can't take it anymore. These ladies are going down. Now the next scene in this movie is indescribable. I can't describe the Nicolas Cage bear suit scene. The only way I can think to show just how crazy this scene is to show you, somebody watching it for the first time, having no idea what they're about to see. So I filmed my fiance watching the bear suit scene for the very first time. Please enjoy her reaction.
What is it? What's wrong, sister?
What do you think of that, huh?
What the fuck was that? They actually made that into a movie?
Yes, they did. That's a movie. Who said Nicolas Cage should wear a bear suit and run around and punch a girl? Whoever did, thank you, man, because that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then another display of incredible speed powers is shown as this group of about 100 people go all the way around a forest. And Nicolas Cage is cutting through this forest and somehow they beat him. I don't know how, but they do. And then we get the giant twist explained to us. And of course, it's explained in a very detailed fashion for us dumb audience members who are too stupid to figure anything out on our own. Why respect us and allow us to figure things out with great visual storytelling when you can have an old hag goddess lady explain the entire thing to us while she wears her Braveheart paint? So apparently the entire scheme behind this thing is they needed somebody who was in some way blood related to someone on the island come to that island at his own will so they could then sacrifice him, hopefully getting their honey crop back. Someone wrote that down and said that's a good idea. And then hundreds of other people said, yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. More importantly, after each take in this movie, somebody in the background said, cut, print, I like that one. Who said that? Okay, so as I kept hinting throughout this video, I'm gonna bring this whole thing around. The thing I hate most about this movie is the fact that none of it makes sense. The accident, the truck scene, nothing to do with the movie. The self-help tapes, nothing to do with the movie. Okay, now, we know that they want to kill him. They want to sacrifice him. He is their only hopeful thing for this honey crop to come back. So why'd they trap him underground at night where he nearly drowned? That would have ruined their whole sacrifice thing, wouldn't it? How about right there in the opening scene of the movie where he comes and looks at the shark bag? There's a whole bunch of those old women with evil speed powers. They killed that old guy and sewed shut his mouth and cut off his eyes and his hands. So why not kill Nicolas Cage right there? Does it have to be on this stupid harvest date? I guess so, but seriously, why go through all this rigmarole? Why all the fake stories? Why all the lies? Why the setup? Why is everyone going through this crazy charade? There he is on the island in the beginning of the movie. Just imprison him right there. You got the old women with the evil speed powers right in front of him. She can kill people pretty well. She ripped out a guy's eyes, sewed shut his mouth, and cut off his hands, remember? I keep referencing that because, really, how dumb is that? She's like 85 years old. Don't trap him in a well at night if you're gonna kill him. These people are idiots. They are so stupid. They can't even do what they want to do successfully, but somehow it all works because they have evil speed powers. But they decide to go through all this stuff, and it's like, why? Because there wouldn't be a movie if they didn't. So next we get the infamous bee scene, and the best lines of the entire movie are spoken throughout this scene.
Bitches! You bitches! Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey! Not the bees! I don't have my eyes! My eyes! Ah! Ah!
Now the phrase, oh my god, is used a lot in movies. Nicolas Cage's The Wicker Man has my favorite usage of it ever.
Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god! So he dies, he burns alive, it's terrible. And you see these women, they look so happy about it, and they're making these faces like, oh. And you hate it because you hate these characters. It isn't creepy or disturbing like the original was. It's just maddening in the worst type of way. The Wicker Man is a horrible movie. It is so, so bad, but it's also so, so funny. If you guys ever get a chance to watch this movie, check it out with some friends. You will enjoy it. Until next time, guys, I will be doing more Hilariocity reviews. Let me know some ones you'd like to see in the comments below. And have a nice day. And, oh, the Wicker Man. Guys, as always, thanks so much for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
The plot thickens. Didn't even know you had a plot.
No kidding.